What's up guys, Phantom here back with episode 69 of my F1 2019 career mode as we are going to circuit the Barcelona Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix for round 5 of season 4 here. As you can see, we have a power upgrade for our car here, so we should be a little bit quicker off corners as we are still the 6th best team on the grid, as we have a ultimate upgrade there for chassis, as that should make us quicker around Canada is the upgrade as we will move to qualifying.
You join us today at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for what's bound to be a really hectic qualifying as the teams compete to set the best lap times. And I'm here, of course, with Anthony Davidson on what has turned out to be a very pleasant day indeed. No weather to interfere, no problems on the track, so absolutely no room for error.
That's right, Crofty. It's looking good out there at the moment. Each team will have their own game plan for this session, and of course, once the cars leave the garage, they'll be under parc fermé conditions, so any last-minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver. Who can keep their tyres in the right temperature? Who can hit their apexes? No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long, long time, and it's right here in qualifying where they're at their absolute peak. Let's get started.
As we start out here in Q1, as we have not made it out of a single Q1 this season, as we are 0 for 4. Hopefully we are trying to get out of Q1 this time at Spain, which is not a fantastic track. It's not that good for us personally or for our car, as the high speed corners don't really work well with the car here, as we will come across the line here with DRS. As we come across the line, it has finally happened. We have finally gotten out of Q1 as we barely get out, as Ricardo probably for the 5th time this year has gotten out of Q1 as we move to Q2 here, as it's gotten a little bit darker but not much here as we go through that just awful chicane, just terrible chicane, as we come out onto the front stretch here. As even though it is pretty long with that chicane and that last corner there, it is pretty hard to overtake around here as we come through the bouncy cowsill chicanes, as we come through the last corner here, get DRS and come across the line. We will only be P15, but that is still our best qualifying of the season, as Ricardo is 12th as we will move to the race.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, a track that will certainly force the drivers to push themselves. It consists of a very impressive main straight going into turn 1. It's a straight that also offers a DRS zone, so it's likely to be a hot spot for overtakes. Anthony Davidson is here with me today, and together we'll be taking you through all the action at the Spanish Grand Prix. It can be hard for the cars to follow each other closely here due to all the dirty air coming off the car in front. So perhaps we're looking at a more strategic Grand Prix. What do you think on that one, Ant?
I'm not too sure about that, Crofty. Yes, it's hard to follow, but if you're brave on the brakes and willing to commit, there are definitely opportunities to be had here, like down into turn 10 after the DRS zone, for example. I don't think this is a race that's going to be decided purely in the pit stops.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, just edging out Alexander Albon, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Weber, Devon Butler and Leclerc, Hamilton, Perez, Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen, Oldtimer, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Lance Stroll and George Russell. Norris and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
As we sit here on the grid MP14 after Norris's 10th place grid penalty, as the 5 lights are on and they are away, as we get pretty bogged down here as they just shoot out away from us, as we kind of just stay on the inside here to try to block off Hulkenberg and everybody on the inside, so we don't lose as many positions as we dive bomb down the inside of Raikkonen here as we go around the outside of turn 2, and then we will squeeze him out there. We actually go a little bit wide there, and Raikkonen has to let out there as he loses a place to Magnussen as we come up to this right-hander now, as we are just positioning ourselves for the left-hander here where everybody will be slow. As we dive down the inside of Bottas, even he just turns in on us as we lose the back end there slightly, as Bottas will get a run on us, but we have the inside here for the chicane, and we will squeeze him out on the exit there as we are up into P10 already. As we come up to the hairpin here, we almost run him back Verstappen there, as that could have really ended our race there, or any challenges for point, as we have Bottas here in our slipstream, as we will look to the defense, but he is already there, so we have to give him room as he comes up our inside, but we managed to keep our speed up and stay around his outside as we to go around the outside of Verstappen there, as they were really slow there, but they are bunching up ahead of us, so those are extra points on the table for us as they're going super slow. We try to think about going the outside of Verstappen there, but really wasn't worth our time as they are starting to go into the pits there. Albon has gotten in as we will come across the line here, as we will take P6 through the pits right now, as we will pit on the next lap here with Verstappen here, as we will come in the pits, and I'm really judging my braking off of Verstappen, trying to not lose that much time. We lock up there a little bit, but it does not matter since these tires are coming off in about 5 seconds. As we come into the pits, we will have a 2.2 as we see if we can get ahead of Verstappen there, as it looks like he's been released ahead of us, and we've had to brake there slightly. But really, we are battling Albon here as Stroll comes through, as Albon is right there, as it looks like we may have jumped him, as we have. The overcut has worked, and we are ahead of Albon, who was really holding the group up ahead of us, as we are coming on to lap 9 as the rest of the grid is pitting as we come out, and we will be ahead of Raikkonen barely, but we are in P8 as they are going 3 wide into turn 1 here, as we have to try to set ourselves up because there's no way they're going to make it all through there, as we get a very good run, as we actually had to slightly turn our wheel not to hit Verstappen. He was going really slow there, as we take P7, and now we are on the back of Butler as Leclerc sets the fastest lap just ahead of us, but we will make a very easy move there, as Verstappen is also going to look on a move on Butler there, as it looks for a slight second there. They are battling side by side, but it looks like Butler will keep 7th position there, as Albon, who has fallen out of the points, actually has just DNF there, as he was running like 13th or 14th, but he is DNF there, as you can see, our teammate of Ricardo there. But Butler has not relinquished us at all, and he is in our DRS there, as we are trying to go defensive here, as we're going to make him go the long way around us, as he slightly gets ahead of us, but we will easily have the power there to keep ahead. But at the front there, Weber has won his first race since France of last season, as we will come across the line to finish P6.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
What a fantastic Grand Prix that was, and an excellent win for the Haas team. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Today was another great race and an even greater victory for Haas. Here they come now to step out onto the top of the podium. They'll be incredibly happy with today's result. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Old Timer. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.